Well,
Yep.
today, in case you didn't know, it's the first day of meteorological spring we've learned, and this week it's spring fever, of course. It's taken over southern Colorado.
Meteorologist Alan Rose is joining us live from the weather deck in Colorado Springs with his climate outlook for the upcoming season. Alan.
And Rob and Diane, I've got a touch of that fever out here on the weather deck, as you mentioned. Now, today's weather has the look and feel of spring, but this is southern Colorado, and it's a foregone conclusion that winter isn't done with us yet. It was a slow start to winter this year in southern Colorado. Colorado Springs and Pueblo both having to wait until December to record their first measurable snowfall. The storm cycle picked up in January, but still, both cities coming up short of the norm. Finally, last month, a snowy end to winter. At the Colorado Springs Airport, we saw 10.5 inches of snow, Pueblo with 8 inches. Looking ahead to spring, on average, March tends to be the snowiest month of the year for Colorado Springs with 5.7 inches. Pueblo averages 4.5 inches, making it their 4th snowiest month. While things start to warm up in April, snow oftentimes still on the menu. The Springs averages 5.5 inches for the month, Pueblo closer to 3.5 inches. May snowfall can shock the system, but it does happen. Last year's 1.7 inches of frozen flakes in Colorado Springs exceeded May's normal snowfall by more than an inch. Looking ahead, this week's warm weather is likely to give way to a colder and unsettled pattern by next week. Beyond that, the Climate Prediction Center's seasonal outlook favors the potential for below-average precipitation through the end of May. This includes the Four Corners region and southern Colorado. The temperature outlook is pointing towards a warm spring across a large part of the country that includes the Southern Rockies and the Centennial State. Now, meteorological spring, as we mentioned, began today and it will continue through the end of May. Being a full 3 months, this makes it easier for meteorologists and climatologists to keep track of records and data. Calendar spring won't arrive until March the 20th, and that's based on our relationship with the sun. In Colorado Springs, meteorologist Alan Rose, News 5.